Welcome to Monetizing with Mick and Mo, a deep dive product review podcast for entrepreneurs. Come with us as we take you on an exhilarating journey through the ever-evolving landscape of business, creativity, and digital strategy. And now, your hosts, Mick and Mo.
All right, so today we're diving deep into Skip, trying to see if it really is your shortcut to funding. Or just, another flashy website. I've got their website up. We've got a YouTube video with one of the co-founders. And I've also got some notes on Skip's features.
Seems like they're doing a lot to make the whole funding process less mysterious.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be a real jungle out there for entrepreneurs.
Right, totally.
So think of it as a one-stop shop for all things funding. Basically, they've built this platform to help entrepreneurs at all different levels get the money they need to grow their businesses. And what's cool is they've got this kind of multi-pronged approach. On the one hand, you've got their blog, which reaches like 500,000 readers every month. And then they've got a bunch of more personalized options for folks who need more hands-on help.
Wow, 500,000 readers, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And speaking of reach, did you catch that part in the video where the co-founder, is talking about how everyone just calls him Skip now?
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
It's like he's become the brand.
Right. Shows how much he's invested in this whole mission. But, okay, so let's talk about the actual membership tier. Say I'm a brand new business owner. Is that basic Skip Plus enough for me? Or should I be looking at those premium options right away?
Yeah, that's a great question.
It really depends on your needs and how comfortable you are doing things yourself. So Skip Plus is definitely a solid starting point. Only $10 a month, you get access to their core resources and those AI-powered tools we'll talk about later. But if you really want someone to guide you through everything, then maybe look into the 30-minute expert call or jump right into one of the premium memberships.
Okay, cool. So let's say I do need that extra hand-holding. What do you actually GET with those premium memberships?
Okay, so they have this tiered system, basically for different levels of support and budget. The VIP level starts at $199 per month. With that, you get monthly check-ins, someone to review your funding options, and a dedicated client success manager, basically like your go-to guide for everything. Then there's Platinum, starting at $499. That gives you everything in VIP, plus bi-weekly hands-on help, customized grant support, and help with getting funding ready. So it's like they're prepping you to present your best self to potential investors.
It's like having a personal trainer, but for your funding strategy.
Exactly. And then for those who want the ultimate VIP treatment, there's the Diamond level. That's $999 a month. That comes with bi-weekly business growth coaching, quarterly calls with the CEO, and monthly strategy sessions focused on marketing and growth.
Wow, so that's a pretty comprehensive package. Okay, so here's the thing I'm wondering. Why wouldn't I just go to my bank for a loan or use one of the other online lending platforms? What makes Skip different?
So it's not just about getting a loan. They want to help you explore all your options. Grants, loans, even credit card options. So you're seeing the whole picture. And then they have this AI system. It analyzes your needs and suggests the best options, not just, the ones they want to sell you.
So you're saying they might actually recommend not taking a loan if it's not the best fit.
Exactly. It's not about pushing products. And let's talk about that AI for a sec. They use it to make the whole application process way easier. I mean, you know how much of a nightmare that can be. It helps you gather all the documents, analyzes your financials, even pre-fills those tedious application forms.
It's like having a robot assistant for all the boring paperwork.
Right.
I can see how that would be super appealing, especially for busy entrepreneurs.
And get this. They even have a service where they actually apply for grants for you.
Wait, seriously? So I could literally just hand over that whole headache to them?
Yep.
That's a game changer.
Right.
Especially for someone like me. I'd much rather be, building the business than wrestling with grant applications.
Exactly. They handle everything, from your financial statements to writing those compelling narratives that can make or break a grant application.
Okay, so I'm starting to get the appeal here. But what about results? Do they actually have any success stories, to back up all these fancy features?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Their website is full of testimonials. One that stood out to me was this guy, Antoine. He's a VIP member, and he was able to secure a pretty substantial SBA 7A loan with Skip's help. Now, SBA 7A loans are specifically for small businesses. They come with some great benefits, like lower interest rates and longer repayment terms.
Right.
It's a pretty big deal. And Skip helped them get it.
So it's not just like small grants. They're helping people get serious funding.
Exactly. And then there's this other member, Rachel. She's on the Platinum tier, and she raves about her client success manager, this guy named David. She says he's been a lifesaver, always there to answer her questions and help her navigate all the challenges that come with running a small business.
I love that. It shows they're not just about throwing money at a problem, they're providing actual human support.
Definitely.
Okay, so it sounds like Skip offers a ton of different support options, from DIY resources to that really hands-on personalized guidance. They go beyond just loans to help you get grants. And they even use AI to make the whole application process easier. Plus, they have those real-world success stories.
Right. But here's where it gets even more interesting. What really struck me is that Skip isn't just another platform. It's like they're trying to change the whole game. You know how most platforms just connect you with lenders and then they kind of leave you to sink or swim?
Yeah, totally.
It's like a digital dating service. You get the match, but then you're on your own to figure out the rest.
That's a great analogy.
Right. But Skip goes beyond that.
Yeah.
They don't just facilitate the connection. They actually guide you through the whole funding process.
So it's less about like, here's a loan, good luck, and more about, let's work together to find the best solution for you.
Exactly. And that's where their expertise comes in. They really understand the ins and outs of each funding option, the nuances of the application process, all those little pitfalls that entrepreneurs can fall into.
Right.
They're giving you that insider knowledge. That's usually so hard to come by.
And that's reflected in their membership tiers, too. The more you invest, the more personalized and hands-on the support becomes.
Right. It's like choosing your level of adventure. Do you want to go on a fully guided tour? Or are you more of a solo trekker, blazing your own trail?
I like that.
Skip caters to both.
And even if you choose to go solo, you still have access to all their resources, like their blog and the AI tools we talked about.
Exactly. And that brings us back to that idea of accessibility. It seems to be really central to their mission. They want to make information and support available to everyone, no matter your budget or experience level.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing that theme throughout all the materials we've looked at, from that free blog content to that super affordable Skip Plus membership.
Right.
They're trying to level the playing field. So if you had to like sum up Skip's secret sauce, what would it be?
I think it's a combination of things. Their comprehensive approach to funding, their commitment to accessibility, and just their genuine passion for helping entrepreneurs.
I like that. Now, I know you are particularly interested in their AI features. How do you see this technology changing the funding landscape?
It's really exciting to see how AI is being used to make the funding process more streamlined and personalized. You think back just a few years, gathering all the documents, filling out endless applications, analyzing financials. It was such a time-consuming and tedious process.
And intimidating. It's like you need an MBA just to understand the terminology.
Exactly. But with AI, a lot of those tasks are automated or simplified. Like Skip's AI can pull together your financial statements, pre-fill forms, even identify potential funding sources you might have missed.
It's like having a super efficient virtual assistant who also happens to be a funding expert.
Right. And as AI evolves, we're going to see even more innovative applications in this space. Imagine an AI that can analyze your business plan, predict your future revenue, and give you hyper-specific funding recommendations.
Okay, you're painting a pretty compelling picture here. It sounds like we're on the verge of a revolution in funding.
Absolutely. And Skip is at the forefront of this transformation, using technology to empower entrepreneurs and make the whole process more efficient, more transparent, and more accessible.
You mentioned earlier that Skip goes beyond just loans. They also help you explore other funding options, like grants. For someone who's never considered grants before, what are the advantages, and how does Skip make that process easier?
Grants are a fantastic option, especially for startups or businesses in certain industries. They offer what's called non-dilutive funding, meaning you don't have to give up equity in your company or take on debt.
So it's basically free money.
Pretty much.
Sure.
And this is big BUT. Grants are super competitive, and the application process can be really complex.
And that's where Skip's expertise comes in.
Exactly. They help you find relevant grant opportunities, make sure you meet the eligibility requirements, and they even help you write those compelling applications. That can make all the difference.
Right.
And remember, they can even handle the entire application process for you.
Wow.
Which is a huge time saver.
So they're not just like pointing you in the right direction, they're holding your hand every step of the way.
Definitely.
That level of support seems to be a recurring theme with Skip.
It is. They recognize that getting the funding is only half the battle. You also need the knowledge, the resources, and the support to use that funding effectively and actually build a successful business.
It's a much more holistic approach than just throwing money at a problem.
Exactly.
Okay, so we talked about Skip's approach to funding, their focus on accessibility, their use of technology. But what about the human element? They talk about these client success managers who provide personalized support. What kind of impact can that have on an entrepreneur's journey?
That personal connection is actually one of the most powerful things about Skip.
Right.
Having a dedicated client success manager can be a game changer, especially for someone who's new to this whole world and might be feeling lost or overwhelmed. These managers are like mentors, advisors, even cheerleaders, offering personalized advice, answering questions, helping you navigate all those roadblocks that come with building a business.
So it's like having a friend in your corner, someone who's been there and done that.
Exactly. And we see this reflected in the testimonials on their website. Remember Rachel, the Platinum member? She talks about how her client success manager, David, has been such a valuable resource for her, always available to answer her questions and provide guidance.
It sounds like he's become a real part of her entrepreneurial journey.
Right. That kind of relationship could be so powerful, especially when you're dealing with all the ups and downs of running a business.
It's like having a coach, someone who believes in you and helps you stay focused.
Exactly. That's what sets Skip apart. It's not just a faceless platform. They're building a real community with entrepreneurs and experts who genuinely want to see businesses thrive.
I love that. It's not just about the money, it's about the support, the guidance, the feeling of belonging to a community.
Right.
All right, so we've talked about Skip's approach, their accessibility, their tech, and their personalized support. Now I'm curious, how does Skip fit into the larger entrepreneurial ecosystem?
That's a great question. I think it points to a real shift in how we think about supporting entrepreneurs. Traditionally, the focus has been on providing capital, but money is only one piece of the puzzle.
Right. You can have all the money in the world, but without the knowledge and the support, it's not going to get you very far.
Exactly. And that's where Skip comes in. They're not just a funding platform. They're like a comprehensive resource hub, offering education, guidance, and that all-important sense of community.
So it's almost like a one-stop shop for everything an entrepreneur needs.
It's getting pretty close. And that's so valuable in today's business world. Things are changing so rapidly. Entrepreneurs need more than just money. They need knowledge, connections, and a support system they can rely on.
They need a tribe.
Exactly. And Skip is creating that tribe, bringing together entrepreneurs, experts, investors to create this collaborative ecosystem.
Now, in the video we watched, the co-founder mentions that Skip works with all kinds of businesses, from startups to companies making millions of dollars. How do their offerings cater to such a diverse range of needs?
That's a really good point. What impressed me is how they customize their services to fit the specific needs of each business. They understand that a startup faces very different challenges than a company that's been around for years.
So they're not using a one-size-fits-all approach.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Their membership tiers are a great example. They offer a range of support options, from basic resources to that highly personalized guidance.
Right.
So businesses can choose the level that works for them.
It's like a menu.
Exactly.
You can order what you need.
And their AI tools can also be tailored to different businesses. Like a startup might use the AI to find grant opportunities, while a more established business might use it to analyze their financials.
So they're using technology to personalize the experience.
Exactly. That's what makes them so effective. They're not just throwing a bunch of resources at you. They're carefully curating and customizing their offerings.
It's like having a personal shopper for funding.
I like that.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of the positives, but it's important to be objective. Are there any potential downsides or limitations?
Yeah, it's always good to look at things critically. One potential limitation with Skip, like any service that involves personalized support, is that the quality can vary depending on the client success manager you get.
Right. It's like any service where human interaction is a factor.
Exactly. And while Skip seems to have a good vetting process, there's always a chance you might not click with your manager. Or their expertise might not be the best fit.
That's a fair point. What about the cost? I mean, we know they have different tiers, but could those fees be a barrier for some businesses?
That's a valid concern. The Skip Plus membership is very affordable. But those premium tiers, they represent a significant investment, especially for businesses on a tight budget.
So you have to weigh the cost against the potential benefits.
Exactly. It's also worth noting that Skip's main focus is funding. They don't offer other business development services. like marketing or legal or accounting support.
So if you're looking for that kind of comprehensive package, you might need to look elsewhere.
Right.
But for businesses that are solely focused on funding, Skip seems like a really powerful resource.
Definitely.
Okay, so we've explored the pros and the potential cons. What are your final thoughts on Skip, and what would you say are the key takeaways for our listeners?
Overall, I think Skip is a really valuable tool. For entrepreneurs who are trying to navigate the funding world, they offer a comprehensive approach, a commitment to accessibility, and a level of personalized support that's hard to find.
And they're really leveraging technology to streamline the process and help entrepreneurs make informed decisions.
My main takeaway for our listeners would be, if you're feeling lost or overwhelmed by the funding process, Skip is a great place to start. They have the guidance, the resources, and the support you need.
And they have options for everyone, from DIY to that personalized handholding.
Exactly.
So you can choose the level that feels right for you.
Don't hesitate to check them out. You might be surprised at how much they can help.
That's a great point. Now, I'm curious, what are your thoughts on the future of funding? How do you see platforms like Skip evolving?
That's a fascinating question. I think we're on the cusp of a major shift in how businesses access capital. Technology is becoming so central to the process, and platforms like Skip are leading the way. They're using AI, machine learning, all these innovations to make the funding journey more personalized and efficient.
So it's all about making things smarter and faster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think we'll see even more personalized offerings in the future. Imagine a platform that analyzes your business plan, predicts your future revenue, and connects you with investors who are specifically interested in your industry.
Wow.
That's the future of funding. Customization, personalization, predictive analytics.
And it sounds like Skip is well positioned to lead this evolution.
Definitely.
All right, so we've explored the present and future of funding through the lens of Skip. This has been a really insightful conversation.
It has.
I'm sure our listeners have learned a lot.
I hope so.
I've learned a lot.
It's been great diving deep into Skip with you.
Me too. In the video we watched, the co-founder kept saying, Skip is your shortcut to funding. And you know what? After this deep dive, I think he might be right.
I think so too.
All right, so before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to add about Skip?
Just one final thought. Don't be afraid to ask for help. The funding process can be daunting, but there are resources out there, like Skip, that can guide you every step of the way.
That's such an important message.
It is,
Entrepreneurship can be a lonely journey.
but it doesn't have to be.
Exactly.
There are people out there who want to see you succeed.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's been my pleasure.
To our listener out there, if you're on that funding quest yourself, don't be shy about checking out Skip. Even if you're not ready to sign up for a membership, you can still explore their free resources, read their blog, maybe even schedule a quick call with one of their experts. You never know. Skip might just be the missing piece you've been searching for.
You know what I find really intriguing about Skip is how they're changing the relationship between entrepreneurs and funding. It's not just about getting a loan or a grant. It's about building a partnership based on transparency, education, and shared success.
I see what you mean. It's like they're shifting the power dynamic. Instead of feeling like you're at the mercy of banks or investors, Skip puts entrepreneurs in the driver's seat.
Exactly.
And gives them the knowledge and tools they need.
That's a great way to put it. It's a shift that's long overdue. For too long, funding has been this mysterious process that left a lot of entrepreneurs feeling intimidated.
It was like a secret club with its own language and rules.
Exactly. But Skip is breaking down those walls, making funding more accessible and understandable.
And that aligns perfectly with what we do here on The Deep Dive, giving our listeners the information and insights they need.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up, what's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with?
I'd say, remember that funding is a journey, not a destination. It's an ongoing process of learning, exploring, and building relationships. And Skip can be a valuable partner on that journey.
I love that analogy. It's not about rushing to the finish line. It's about enjoying the ride.
Right.
And with Skip in your corner, you'll be well equipped for that ride.
And you might even discover some hidden gems along the way.
That's the beauty of it. So there you have it, folks. That's our deep dive into Skip. We hope you found it informative and inspiring. Until next time, keep those entrepreneurial spirits high.